You heard firsthand the conversation and how cold it was.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So the mutant Nick Walker and his coach Kyle unfollowing each other on IG, that gave us a pretty good indication that first of all they're no longer working together, and second of all their relationship that did not end on very good terms. And now that they're no longer working together, there were some more shocking revelations made by Kyle Wilkes as he appeared on the Untracked podcast. So before we get into that, I just want to say that the bodybuilding media that is often criticized when they discuss topics like these, they are asked to only highlight positive side of the bodybuilding industry. But I have to ask, if Nick's own coach, he's going on a public platform and giving out more detail on what was the exact discussion between him and Nick before they parted ways, doesn't that mean that he wants this information out there so the general public and the fans, they know the whole situation? So what was really shocking here that Kyle claimed in this podcast was that Nick said that he did not like the way he looked at the Pittsburgh Pro earlier this year.
There was a comment made on the call regarding the fact that he did not like how he looked at Pittsburgh. To me, I don't even have words for that.
So all the judges, all the bodybuilding fans in general, they 100% agreed that the Pittsburgh Pro look of Nick, along with the New York Pro version, that was his all-time best look. That physique is what put him in the discussion of the Olympia top 3. So he almost beat Derek Lunsford, and still he did not like that look. That is kind of odd. So this drama will continue as we have yet to receive any confirmation from the mutant on what happened or what his stance is. But what if this was actually Nick Walker's stance? Now, my opinion is that Nick Walker 100% had the right to fire his coach after that horrible Olympia peak. But that Pittsburgh Pro version, that was like a picture-perfect physique for the mutant that we have seen so far.
That was the closest you got to beating the best bodybuilder on the planet right now, right? Derek. So if you didn't like that, I don't know how to help you, because that is the look I want to go for, because I think that's what's going to put you in the best position to win.
And guess what? Who left this comment on the same thread? Matt Jensen, Nick's former coach. So the irony is that some of these athletes and the coaches, they call themselves a family when they are working together. But one bad showing and it just all falls apart. Now, you have got to 100% agree with the mutant on his Olympia stance. He must have been very heartbroken after placing top 6 at the Olympia, because the only thing that he was aiming for, that was the Olympia title. But can we all agree on one thing? That the Pittsburgh Pro version, that was an amazing look for him. So at this point, it's no wonder why Kyle deleted this video from his Instagram, where he took all the blame for what happened at the Olympia and for Nick not showing up at his 100%. Now, Nick has a lot of diehard fans, but they have to be very realistic about one very basic thing. No coach in the world can change his structure. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So 2025 is gonna be remembered as a very heartbreaking year for Quinton, because I do not remember when was the last time an IFBB Pro placed runner-up 4 times in 1 year. So they started with Tampa Pro and ended with France. And just imagine what would have happened if Ors did not switch to open bodybuilding. Quinton would have been a 2 times IFBB Pro champion as well as an Olympian by now. Now him losing the France Pro to a guy like Sergey Danilov, who no one even knew about, that was a very hard pill to swallow. The thing is, nobody even bothered mentioning his name before the show. So what's next for Quinton? Well, a recovery phase, but at the same time, doing the business of bodybuilding. So he guest posed today in what you can call a very good post-show condition. So Quinton has the frame. He's such an impressive looking guy when he's guest posing because he has those awesome aesthetics. The legs look huge and bubbly as there is no depletion, no water reducing protocols. And honestly, the biggest knock on Quinton has been the same year after year. He's massive during the off-season, and even leading into the show, he looks pretty damn awesome up until he's 6 weeks out. But he just loses so much size when he diets down. He lacks that hard and dense look to his muscles, especially in the upper half, like the chest, the shoulders. They're kind of the same as Derek. There is no definition there. But that being said, I do feel like he's getting closer to his first pro win, and that might happen in 2026. So the top open IFBB pro from Brazil, Rafael Brandao, posted a new off-season update today, and the man is looking pretty damn huge. So after watching the Olympia this year, it's safe to say that Brandao, he must be feeling very relieved that he pulled out. From the Olympia this year, this was a way more competitive lineup compared to 2024, and Rafael would have faced extreme difficulty retaining that 8th place or even making top 10 at the Olympia this year, because the fact is he did not have an ideal off-season. He wasn't able to put on the required muscle mass, the size that the judges want to see on him, because he was battling a digestion issue and that stomach problem. And if he went on with his Olympia prep, he was gonna have to play catch-up, which just would not have worked for someone like Rafael Brandao, considering how difficult the lineup was. So Brandao has been considered one of the most beautiful physique in the men's open bodybuilding. But ever since he started competing at the Olympia level, there has been a very big if whenever Rafael Brandao is discussed. Will he be able to put on enough mass, enough size, while at the same time maintaining his beautiful classic lines? Now the thing is, if he can do that, he can be top 6 or even higher. But the genetics of some of these pros, they just do not allow them to put on 10 to maybe 15 pounds of muscle while also maintaining a small waistline, no matter how much time they take. The fact is, mostly the physiques, they get kind of ruined chasing size, and Rafael has been competing as a pro for more than 9 years now. That makes him a real veteran of the sport. So what do you guys see in Rafael's future, especially with all these new incredible physiques coming onto the scene? Let me know in the comments down below. So the giant killer Shawn Clarida just proving to everyone why he's referred to as Mini Ronnie Coleman. The back double biceps on this guy is a work of art. So Shawn was also seen guest posing today in Italy, 1 week after competing in the men's open bodybuilding at Mexico Pro. So the man looked amazing. So Shawn wasn't able to win the 212 Olympia this year, but he pushed Keon to his absolute limits, which is something nobody expected. So Shawn used to compete in high 170s or 180s in the past few years. So he tried to come in heavier back in 2022 and he lost the title to Keon. But what him and John Jewett, they did this year, that was a true masterclass. The man was almost up 10 pounds and that was a solid stage weight, pure muscle mass, the lean muscle tissue, and he looked at his all-time best. Now I personally think if Shawn did not have a washed out midsection at Mexico Pro, he probably would have beaten Regan and he would have been second behind Tonio Burton in Mexico. So for a guy who has been competing for over a decade now, being 43 years old and still looking like this, that is pure dedication. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.